Right guys, the time has come. I am finally building a PC. If you guys have been following the channel, half of it is computer stuff, half of it is car stuff. Now some of you might know that I've actually parted ways with my Integra, but that's freed up a lot of money for me to get a new project car and to build a PC, which I am super happy about. A lot of this stuff I've got off my brother, so I need to say a big thank you to him. I got the case of him, graphics card, cooler, and a load of other cables and stuff, so he done me a really good deal. And that's a 3080 Ti 12GB graphics card, which I am insanely happy about. If you guys remember that, you know, the Acer laptop that I've been using, that's only got 4GB graphics card, so this is 3 times as powerful, which is insane. I've been buying all the other bits I need, like the CPU, RAM. I got that hard drive from my brother. I'm going to put the M.2 slot out of the laptop in this, so as soon as the motherboard gets here, I can start working out how to put all this stuff together. I'm going to put the power supply in first and sort of route all the cables around the back of the case. This case is actually quite a small case, but I like that because it sits on my desk really well. So it might be a bit of a struggle to get this bad boy in, but we should be able to manage. So I'm going to get the power supply in. I've got these 3 fans in already. I want to get them turned on and make sure the airflow is blowing into the case, because my plan is to have these 3 fans sucking air in, and then on the top I'm going to have the cooler and another fan side by side blowing air out, so fresh air comes in and then gets sucked out the top, taking all the heat away from the motherboard, CPU, graphics card, all that stuff. Alright, so I've got the power supply all installed. I've actually tidied up all these fans. They've all got screws in all of them now, and I've cable tied all the wires because I'm going to try and make this as neat as possible. But the only thing I'm just thinking now is, like, this graphics card is pretty... I'm trying to do this with one hand. This is pretty big. Oh god. So that's got to go in there. And then I'm gonna need to put the cooler in, which should be fine. I'm gonna put it this side on the top, and then have it run down and then clip onto the motherboard. Then I've got this HDD drive. I know you guys might be thinking, Ash, why are you bothering with that? Because I have got an M.2 SSD that's going in here. That's 1TB, and this is really just going to store the videos and stuff. So this isn't going to be for any performance stuff. This is literally going to be for holding data and storage, and that's all that's for. So I'm not worried about performance for that. But I think that's going to sit like that, and the graphics card above, and then hopefully I can squeeze everything in, because I really want to use this small case, because my desk looks so much better with that nice and tucked out of the way. If I had a massive case, I wouldn't have much room, and in the future I want to get a bigger screen and go for a 27-inch, and that's a 24, so that will fill this gap and maybe go over here a little bit as well. So just some things I'm playing about with in my head, but when the motherboard gets here, I'm going to get that in and then try and put it all together, and hopefully it all fits okay in there. While I'm waiting for the motherboard to arrive, this piece of metal actually goes on there, but I don't want to hide all this good looking awesomeness, so I've gone to the local DIY store, got this big sheet of perspex, so I'm going to cut this out to go in there, and hopefully I cut it right the first time, because I've only got one go at this. Alright, so I've got this rectangle here marked out, so I need to cut this. Now, I was going to use like a wood saw, but the blade on those are really quite sort of thick and vicious, so I might go for like a hacksaw, a metal saw, and I think that might cut a lot smoother, and hopefully I'll make a really nice straight cut. It actually fits really well, and I saved the best bit till last. You guys are gonna, well, I enjoy these types of videos. It's actually quite hard to get off. And that is how you do that. So the motherboard is here. And look at this thing. It's a MSI Tomahawk. I mean, that just sounds cool, and I think it looks really cool as well. So I need to put this in there, but judging by these screws, where these go in, I might have to adjust them to get it to fit, because I don't want to miss any screws. I want it to be on as well as I can, and then get the CPU in, which is the AMD 5900X, which is a pretty good one. I wanted to get a really decent CPU for all the editing stuff, because that will really speed up the rendering time, so just save me time. And then put the RAM in. So I've got 32 gig of RAM in 2 sticks. I've got 4 slots, 2 channels, so I could upgrade more RAM, but 32 I think it's going to be plenty. But when I've got it running and start editing and start processing stuff, I'll have a look, see how much RAM it's running, and if I need more, I'll just get another couple of sticks. But for now, let's get this in there. Alright guys, so I've got all the RAM in, the CPU in, and I've pretty much put in all of the wires we need. Got those for the graphics card, but it's starting to take shape here. But there is one thing that I've found out doesn't work, and that is this cooler. Now, on these coolers you usually got these little brackets that come with it, so it can bolt into these 4 holes. But these brackets are missing. Now I went back to my brother's house because he gave me this, and we couldn't find them. So what I've got instead is the standard AMD cooler. So I'm just gonna put this on for now to get me by, and then later on down the road I might buy a fancy cooler like that Coolmaster one to go on the top. But for now I just want to get this thing going. So we're gonna put that on and then go for the graphics card. And once them two are in, plug it in, and I'm going to put a couple fans on the top here now to suck the air out. But other than that, we should be able to turn it on for the first time. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Right, the CPU cooler is in, and I just need to plug that in up there. You see it says CPU fan. But that is quite hard to get in. It's on them like little springs, and then you've got to hold this back plate. You've got to kind of like push them together and try and screw at the same time. That was a bit fiddly, but we got it on. So all I need to do is plug that in. The GPU is in, and this thing looks so good. I've tucked all these wires down, trying to make it look as neat as possible. And I had to improvise with these screws. These little holes have got like threads in them, so you screw into there, but these ones are a bit broken, so I've had to put these on the back and screw into them, which clamps it together. After that, now that that's done, I'm going to put these 2 fans at the top, blowing air out, so fresh air in, hot air out. And then I'm going to have to crack into the Acer laptop. I want to take the SSD M.2 slot out of this and put it in there, because I've got a 1TB stick, and I want all my operating system for this stuff to run off that. But what I'm going to do first is download all the data on it onto a memory stick, because sometimes when you set these up in the BIOS, which I'll show you guys in a minute, you have to reformat it, and then if you've got to do that, it usually erases everything off it. So I'm going to put it on a USB to be on the safe side. The top fans are in, and I'm just transferring all the data off the SSD onto this USB, and then once everything's off that, I'll take it out, put it in there, and then we should be able to turn this on. And I'm going to put Windows on this other USB, and then download Windows off the USB onto the new system, onto the SSD. Okay, so I've got the SSD taken out of the laptop, and it's in there, and all I need to do is put my bracket on, and then we're good to go, and we should be able to fire this up. The time has come to turn the PC on. I am slightly nervous. I hope I put everything in the right place, but here goes nothing. Okay, nothing's exploded. The PC is finally up and running. I spent a few hours last night just loading everything up, transferring all the data and stuff across. So I didn't really get any footage of me doing that because it's pretty boring stuff. But it's finally up and running. Now I'm going to edit this video on it, see how that does, and then I'm going to have a go on some games and see what it's like with that, because I should be able to run quite a lot of games at max settings now. So looking forward to that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe, because I've got a lot more stuff coming on this new PC. So that'll be about it for this video, and until next time guys, look after yourselves.